All right, let's have a look at theta, and this is going to be, I'll also write it over here, so it's theta, maths, and it's 1.08, and I'm going to have a shot at doing question 6, which is this one here. So this is coordinate geometry, and it says the points, and I'll write the points out. We've got 2, 1, we've got -3, q, and we've got 1, -2, and we're told that these points are collinear. Collinear means they all occur on the same line. That is, the points lie on the same line. Calculate the value of q. So several ways of doing this. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw, find the equation of the line based on this point here and this point here. Now when I say there's several ways, I mean you could use these 2 points to find out the gradient, and then you could use this coordinate here and put that, say, into y equals mx plus c, or perhaps you might use the point gradient equation. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 2-point equation. So I'm going to use this one here. So I'm going to take this one and find the equation of this first. Then I'm going to make y the subject with a value of x. So let's do this now, and I'll talk you through it. So a couple of ways of doing it. So first thing, I'm going to use the 2-point equation, or the point. So I've got, I'll just do it like this. So y minus y1 over x minus x1 is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, so I'm going to designate these as being certain things. So let's have a shot at this. I'm going to call this one x1 and this y1, and this is going to call x2 and y2. I'm going to ignore this bit in the middle here until I've actually found this equation. So let's go ahead and do that then. So I've got, that implies that y minus, and y1 is going to be 1 over x minus x1, and x1 is 2, is equal to, and I've got y2 is -2 minus y1, well y1 is 1, all over x2, well x2 is 1, minus x1, which is 2. And that is the information we're given. Now let's simplify all this on the right-hand side. So y minus y1 over x, so y minus 1 over x minus 2 is going to be equal to, now I've got -2, and another -1 would be -3 over, and I've got 1 minus 2 is going to be -1. So essentially this is just going to be 3. So again, lots of ways of doing this. You could just cross multiply at this stage. I'm actually not going to bother with that. I'm just going to go -1 goes into -3 3 times. So I've got y minus 1, x minus 2 is equal to 3. So I'm going to multiply both sides by x plus 2. So this is going to be, sorry, x minus 2. Yes, here it is. And I'm going to multiply this by x minus 2. So in other words, x minus 2 times x minus 2 leaves me with a y minus 1 is equal to 3x, x minus 2. All right, so let's expand this out, and I've got 3 times x is going to be 3x. -3 times -2 is going to be -6. I've got y minus 1. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So here we go, add 1. So y, therefore, is going to equal 3x. I've got a -6 plus 1, going to make it -5. So there is my equation, and I've got it, in this case, I'll put it in y equals mx plus c. So we've got a term which will tell us, if we know what the x value is, we can find the y value. Well, let's go ahead and do that, because we know what the actual x value is. The x value is -3. We just have to find the y value, or q, if you like. So let's write these in. I know that in this case, I've got my x value, I've got x, I've got -3, q. So there's my x value, and there's my y value. Well, let's substitute those in. This implies that y, well, y is going to be q, is equal to 3 times, well, x is -3 minus 5. Let's see where we land. So q is going to equal, well, first of all, 3 times -3 is -9, minus 5. Well, I've got -9 minus 5. That's going to equal minus or -14. So Q is equal to negative 14. And that is one way of doing that problem. I'll do it again in a different way in a moment.